Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. It's amazing to be here. It's a privilege to be invited and to be part of this this whole setup for today. There are many researchers and farmers that we have met over the last couple of years with Alon and Daniel, who formed the duo for cooking sections. And I would like to begin by thanking you all. We are so grateful and appreciate so much all the time and expertise you have shared with us during this journey, and it's wonderful to see so many of you here live, because we met so many of you in Zoom over the last couple of years. So my name is Paula Toppila, and I'm the executive director and curator of IHME Helsinki. That is a contemporary art commissioning agency functioning mainly in Helsinki, but also in other places. And I will give in my speech a little bit of context that why does a contemporary art commissioning agency become interested to become ecologically sustainable and work with artists who want to work with sustainability and other related issues in order to react to the planetary boundaries that many of which we have already exceeded. And so I will give a little bit of context. I will also talk about very, very briefly some previous art projects that we have produced over the last 5 years. So IHME Helsinki brings together art, science and climate work. And we are a foundation that was founded in 2007. Our objectives are to support new critical art, to make contemporary art more accessible, to make art available for new audiences. This is why we are always somewhere in the public realm, not inside art institutions. And we also aim to strengthen international dialogue in the field of art, but also society more and more. We started with IHME Contemporary Art Festival in 2009, and in the core of that festival that we made for 10 years was always just one artwork in the public realm that was commissioned from internationally recognized artists. And those commissions had some typical features. It was participation. It could be short or long term. We always emphasized collective experience. Equity and accessibility were always in the core, so all the program that we do is free admission, open to all. And our works are always temporary. We never imagine that they would be permanent, whatever that means. Is it 5 years or 100 years? And these artworks always were looking to trigger some kind of transformative potential, whether in thought or in action, and more so now that we have become art commissioning agency from the festival. And this was the artwork that made us think again that what we are doing. We were approaching the 10th anniversary of our festival in 2018 with this artwork by Henrik Håkansson, who is a Swedish artist. And the main protagonist is this endangered species of a beetle, halava sepikkä, Hylocaris cruentatus. And when we were working with this project, we started to think about climate change, global warming, biodiversity loss, and also our own role as art institution. How do we use natural resources? What are our emissions? How to understand what is our relationship to this also sustainability transformation? What kind of role can art and art institution have in that? So this was artwork that made us think. We went through a major transformation in our organization. We stopped making the festival, and we renewed our strategies and values and mission. I'm not going to that in detail, but I want to raise this vision that we formed, and also the most important value in our work. So in the future, IHME will be recognized as an expert organization for contemporary art and sustainable practices. Through art, IHME engages in social debate and supports citizens' capacity to adapt to the environmental crisis. And our most important value is freedom of art within life-supporting systems. And this is why we put ecological sustainability in the center of everything. So we changed our name from festival to IHME Helsinki. We brought together art, science and climate work. And we, instead of the annual festival, we are now doing 4 to 6 public events with art and science institutions in collaboration. And ecological sustainability really goes through everything we do: curating, art production, office, running office, marketing, etc. And we also wanted to know, is it possible to become more impactful when you become smaller instead of growing all the time bigger? And this we may have approved that it can be possible also. And now I will present 4 previous commissions before we come to Alon and Daniel's project, Maaleipä-haaste. Very, very briefly. Jana Vinderen is a Norwegian artist who has developed a very interesting practice recording underwater animal sounds, especially fish and crustacea. And those animals, we don't really know if they make a noise and what kind of noise or sound. And she's also interested in the dead zones in the Baltic Sea, but also in other similar environments close to shores and lakes. And she created this a spatial sound installation of those sounds that she had put together and composed into a piece that was shown in Rowing Stadium in Helsinki, that is facing the Baltic Sea. So you're watching the Baltic Sea and listening to the sounds of underwater world, other living beings that are invisible to us. And IHME Helsinki Commission 2021 was by Scottish artist Katie Patterson to burn forest fire that consisted of the scent of the first ever forest on Earth and the scent of the last forest of the age of the climate crisis, made into incense and then burned across a variety of sites around the city of Helsinki for 1 month. And in connection to the artwork, there is also a booklet published where the scientific background work is being made visible, readable. And these are the incense sticks, and then this is from the observatory. We were in many different places doing these ceremonies for different types of audiences. And in 22, we worked with Indian artist Amar Kanwar. This was the COVID years, so partly because of that, we made an online course, Learning from Doubt, that was based on an emerging from Amar Kanwar's art installation and exhibition called The Sovereign Forest that he has worked with for over 20 years. And lessons learned from experiments on ecological sustainability with a unique rice seed bank in the village of Narisho in Odisha, India, and the experiences gained during the making and exhibition of The Sovereign Forest were all integrated into this course. And this was produced together with the University of Arts and University of Helsinki. Helsus is in particular. And we are also looking for possibilities to work translocally. So how can we work in international context without really moving anything? Perhaps the artist travels, but the artworks or any materials are not being transported. And this course was one of the first experiments that we did, and it was also realized in Nepal as part of the Photo Kathmandu Festival in Nepal this January. And last year in 2023, we had Kurdish artist Hiva K, who shares his time between Berlin and Sulaimania in Iraq, Kurdistan in Iraq, and his work, Chicago Boys, While We Were Singing, They Were Dreaming, was happening almost simultaneously in Sulaimania and in Helsinki. And the idea here, the group in Sulaimania is planting oak trees. And here is the group, one of the group photos that we took over the course of the project here in Helsinki. And in this project, we formed a band based on open call, and they practiced together studying not only playing music. You didn't necessarily have to play music at all, but if you were interested to study connections between the neoliberal economy and environmental changes in your everyday environments, you were all welcome. And we included everybody who wanted to join. And the band visited many places that are threatened to be destroyed in Helsinki, among them for example, these 3 urban forests like Riistavuori, Stansvik, and in this picture, the Matokallio forest. I could talk for hours on each project, but this is a very brief overview. And now we come to our commission this year by cooking sections, Maaleipä-haaste, that many of you have been involved with, the background research and helped us form to give it shape. And Maaleipä Challenge invites all home bakers, bakeries, restaurants, schools and communities in Finland to create bread recipes that combine the well-being of land, water and people's guts. The best recipes will be awarded at the Maaleipä ceremony at Kellohalli in Helsinki on 21st of September, and you are all very welcome also to bake the bread. But now I would like to give the floor to Alon. I would like to thank our supporters, the foundations that make all our programs possible. And I finish with thank you, but also my contact information.